Okay, so Oppenheimer has been here for a while now, so let's rank all Christopher Nolan movies. Ranking Christopher Nolan movies is not at all an easy task. The higher you rank, the harder it gets. So in the last place, we've got Following. I guess this is the only thing we all are going to agree on. Following is not the best movie of Christopher Nolan. I mean, this movie was okay. It was a psychological thriller, and Christopher Nolan's really creative with all these things. And I also like the fact that this movie was shot in black and white. Just adds more depth to it. I mean, for the budget of $6,000, I think he did a really good job. So next up, I've got Tenet. Mind bending to its core. I don't even know if any YouTube video can also convince you on what exactly was happening in this movie. I mean, I didn't really understand until I watched this the third time. Okay, so next up, I'm going with Insomnia, a really lesser known and really underrated movie. Most people don't even know there's actually a Christopher Nolan movie known as Insomnia. But this is actually a really intense and a very decent movie. I mean, it stars Al Pacino and Robin Williams, actually pretty good, and shows Christopher Nolan's ability to create that tension. Okay, now it's time for a little bit of a hot take. I'm going with Batman Begins next. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love Batman Begins. Obviously, it saved Batman's ass when it comes to making live action movies. But I really think that compared to the other Christopher Nolan Batman movies, I think this movie takes a little bit of a step down. Then I have another really criminally underrated Christopher Nolan movie, that is The Prestige. Prestige is pretty decent as a movie, but let's not talk about the movie or story first. Let's talk about the cast. You have Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, and Scarlett Johansson. Why do you want to miss such kind of a movie? Next up, I'm going with Dark Knight Rises. It actually gave a perfect ending to the really good trilogy, and I absolutely loved the ending of the movie. It was so good. Just the two nods. Just two nods between Christian Bale and Michael Caine will tell you how good they are as actors. And I also like Tom Hardy's Bane in this. He looked really terrifying. Man, I loved it. Then we have Memento, another criminally underrated Christopher Nolan movie. I mean, it's known for its unique, non-linear storytelling, which is actually pretty intriguing. I absolutely loved it. But this movie was Nolan's breakout hit. It actually showed who Christopher Nolan is as a director to the rest of the world. So at number 5, I've got Dunkirk. It's a really good, gripping World War II drama that masterfully captures intensity and chaos, everything required for a really good war movie, and one of the best war movies I've seen in recent times. Surprisingly, Harry Styles does a good job in acting in this movie, alongside Tom Hardy and Cillian Murphy. Okay, so it's time for a little bit of a hot take and a little bit of a hate, because I'm going to get a lot of hate for this ranking, because I'm going to rank Interstellar at number 4. Whoa, hear me out, hear me out. I like Interstellar, okay? I have no problems with it. It's really good, one of the best movies I've seen in theaters. I really didn't understand the first time, though, when I was in school, but obviously I understood on the rewatch, and I really loved the performance of each and every single actor in this movie. The direction, the visual, everything is really good. And Hans Zimmer is literally killing it with music, one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. It's absolutely amazing. It's just that I personally felt that this movie was not really his best projects, one of his best for sure, but obviously not there at number 1. It's a little too draggy at times, and the general audience didn't really understand the Tesseract scene. Okay, so here we are at the top 3 Christopher Nolan movies, and I've got Oppenheimer at number 3. Oppenheimer is the most recent movie of Christopher Nolan, and if you have not watched this movie on theaters, I don't know what are you doing. Get out of your couch and go to the theaters and watch this masterpiece, because it's absolutely amazing. I have no words for it. It's absolutely amazing. I think this is one of the Christopher Nolan movies which is pretty easy to understand for the general audience. It's not really the mind-bending Christopher Nolan movie, but it's actually straight up easy to understand. It's just slow, but it's actually easy to understand. And obviously, it's Cillian Murphy in the lead role, man. Come on, go and watch the movie. It is so good. Cillian Murphy is absolutely killing it as Oppenheimer, and obviously you will love Robert Downey Jr. He's a missing piece of the movie. Cillian Murphy deserves an Oscar for this, man. At number 2, I've got another mind-bending masterpiece of Christopher Nolan. It's Inception. This movie just shows you the brilliance of Christopher Nolan as a writer and a director, and also as a cinematographer, because the amount of creativity he has, it's something else, man. Dream within a dream within a dream? Man, what are you talking? Which director has actually thought something like that? Yeah, nobody. I know that. That's exactly why Christopher Nolan is the GOAT. Yeah, it's another movie that all the general audience didn't really understand. It took some time for everybody to understand what this movie was all about. And Leonardo DiCaprio absolutely killed it as the lead role. And I obviously love Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, everybody in this movie. They're all really good actors, man. But at number 1, I've got Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is the best Christopher Nolan movie I've seen. The Dark Knight is obviously the best superhero movie out there. And forget superheroes. If you don't want to watch superhero movies, that's fine. Just watch this movie as just a movie. It is still good. Leave Batman as a DC character. You don't really need that here. You really need to watch this movie for a movie, and you'll still get it. It's not a mind-bending movie or something. It's really good. And obviously the cast has done a fantastic job. Christian Bale obviously killing it as Batman. But most importantly, watch Heath Ledger's Joker. That guy just went to a whole new level with the character, and I don't know if anybody can go to that level. That's exactly why Heath Ledger got an Oscar for playing Joker. So this was my ranking on all Christopher Nolan movies. If you've enjoyed it, please do drop a like and please subscribe to my channel for more information like this. And I would love to know your ranking of Christopher Nolan movies in the comments below, so please do comment as well.